Is Nintendo doing remakes really a good thing? Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's great. And to be honest, I think that remakes in general, I feel like the reason why we're getting a lot of that nowadays is because, well, nowadays there's a lot of games that are not up to par with quality, or there's a lot of issues with between the fandom, you name it. But some games, it's like fans beg for a remake. And the reason I'm making this is because, I mean, the biggest reason is Ocarina of Time remake. How long have we asked for this game to be remade? Fans have been begging for Ocarina of Time to be remade for so long, and there's people out there who are actually complaining. Not due to the art style or any of that, but complaining that it's actually happening. Like, that's kind of crazy to me, considering how long fans have been like, remake Ocarina of Time, remake Ocarina of Time, remake Ocarina of Time. And then there's people who still out there just hate the idea of a remake. And I just don't get it. Like, I'm like, let people have their fun. You know, just let people have their fun. Like, there's so many games still that I want to see revivals, either with a sequel or a remake. It's insane. Like, we got the Spyro Trilogy remake, fully remade, and then we got a fourth game. Awesome. Spyro Trilogy was remade, and that we're getting a fourth one. Awesome. You know, so Crash and Spyro, we got those. And, like, I welcome remakes, and that's because I love the originals of a game, and then when you remake them and make them just look prettier, perfect. It's amazing. Like, for me, like, I remember there was rumors floating around that Kingdom Hearts 1 was going to be remade, and I still would love to see that happen. Right now, Kingdom Hearts 4 is in heavy development and all that now, which is great. It actually exists. But I would love, like, after that, if we would get a Kingdom Hearts 1 full remake from the ground up before the next main installment down the line, you know? I think it would be awesome. And not to mention some remakes, they completely change everything and expand upon it or whatever, such as Final Fantasy VII with a full trilogy, expanding upon the characters, expanding upon the lore, using all the lore they already had, not just in the base game, but all the other games they made, plus the Advent Children movie and everything. Like, there's so much Final Fantasy VII lore that they're just expanding everything throughout a trilogy, and that is really, really awesome. Do I want to see another game do that? Not necessarily, because I like just a remake from the ground up, but certain things, it makes sense, you know. But people seem to still not understand out there. There are people that don't understand, like, thinking remakes is dumb. And the reality is there's still good games nowadays, and I think there's a point where gaming is going to come back up. But we've been for the past, like, being honest, outside of Nintendo, we've been at a fairly kind of low point in gaming throughout the PS5 and Series X era. And I'm just thinking of the fact that the PS4 era, we had like at least 2 exclusives a year, compared to the PS5 where there's so many less exclusives than there used to be, or they're taking way longer, and there's a lot, just so much less. And then Xbox, their games were not exclusive anymore, and we're going to PlayStation and whatever, and they just kind of gave up with Phil Spencer and all that, and hopefully that changes as well. So that is why people have gone back to, like, retro games and stuff, because they love them, and they want some of them to be remade. There's so many good ones that out there that can be remade. I mean, where is, like, a new Banjo-Kazooie or a remake of Banjo-Kazooie, you know? Or even bringing back Conker's Bad Fur Day. I don't care what year it is. That does not freaking matter. Who cares what people on the internet think? Their opinions will not matter about a game with bad language. Like, it makes no sense to me how people can be so offended. We grew up in old Call of Duty servers where people were swearing and saying a lot of dirty things to each other, and it was really, really bad. Like, I don't understand, like, if it's the younger generation that's getting offended by all this stuff, or if people just slowly just changed their ways into everything is offensive now, and you can't make things that are, you can't say stuff that's actual jokes. I don't know where I'm going with this. My point is that remakes are awesome, because you get to see something, like, from your childhood look way better than it ever did. And I think that is awesome, as long as they are faithful to the original source material, and they either remake it from the ground up and it's the same exact game you loved with some minor tweaks, because there's going to be tweaks regardless with a remake, not just a remaster. Or like, I don't know. It's just really cool. Like, I wanted to make this video because I just realized, like, yes, we're only getting ports of like Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, which that is really awesome. But then I realized, well, we're getting a remake for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is coming out next month in July. And that's really awesome because that's one of the ones that was a fan favorite Assassin's Creed game. And what I'm getting at here is, like, when a game is so loved from either the 2010s, like early 2010s, or even way before that from like the 90s into early 2000s, when a game is very, very beloved, people will ask for it to be remade, and maybe it'll happen one day. It doesn't always happen, but something like Ocarina of Time, that people have wanted that remade for so long, but for some weird reason, there's always still people that complain. You know, like, let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. I can understand if you're disappointed by like a sequel to something or whatever. I know Metroid Prime 4 I enjoyed, but some people were disappointed in it, and that's fine. You know, I personally like the game. It is what it is. Obviously, Mario Kart World has controversy, and people are going back to 8 Deluxe because World doesn't have new content yet after a year, and that's because it's still selling like crazy. I know there's controversy over that as well. I understand. There is a lot of different things. Don't get me wrong. Like, I will still go back. The thing is with having a Switch 2, I kind of would rather just boot up Mario Kart World instead of 8 Deluxe, only because how much I played 8 Deluxe, you know? That's my thing there, is like, well, 8 Deluxe is overall still technically a better game since it technically has more content, I guess. But another thing you got to think of with Mario Kart World is, like, I think that to make DLC content that isn't just characters, they have to branch out to a, like, full new kind of side map, since it's like an open world type aspect where all the maps are intertwined. So it's probably a lot more difficult to make more maps for that. But I'm going a little off topic here, talking about things that are just examples of things that are not remasters and remakes and stuff, because that's a brand new game. But I brought that up because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was so beloved, and they decided to make a new one, which made sense to launch with a new console, of course, because 8 Deluxe sold so much. But World is still selling. And I think that anything that we want a remake for, all people have to do is yell and scream about it, and one day maybe it'll happen, you know? For years, I was like, they're not going to remake Ocarina of Time, because it was, a lot of people lost hope, because it was asked for so long, and then all of a sudden, well, they're remaking Ocarina of Time, and that's really awesome. And for me personally, you're going to get your new games still, but why not welcome remakes of older games again, too? Especially if they're like Nintendo 64 games, which are kind of, you know, clunkier because they're older. Why not welcome that? You know, I could see if Ocarina of Time remake is super successful, I could absolutely see them remaking Majora's Mask. I definitely think that they will, if Ocarina of Time sells really well, which I'm pretty sure it will, then they probably will remake Majora's Mask in the future as well. We may even one day see Super Mario 64 get a full-blown remake, and that would not surprise me at all. It would sell like crazy. I'd be there day one, you know. I guarantee almost everybody watching this video would be like, Mario 64 remade? Yeah, I'm on board. Give it to me I'll buy it day one, you know? Because that game is so beloved. It's so good. It's a really great game, but it's an older game, so, you know, and there's a difference between HD remaster ports versus remakes, you know, and I don't mind the ports too. Ports are welcomed as well, but older games getting remade is so awesome, especially when they're like smoother and just look prettier and all that. It's such a welcome thing. For me, I welcome remakes and remasters, ports, whatever. Like it's awesome. Remakes are the bomb though, because there's so many good ones, and unless you're The Last of Us. I won't get into it, but you guys know. If you know, you know. With Last of Us 1 and 2. You know. Unnecessary. Okay. That being said, those are my 2 cents. I wanted to talk about remakes and why I think that they're a good thing, because I think that they help sell to the point where we will get other remakes that we might want. Plus, we will get new titles as well. So it's kind of a win-win, in my opinion, where you get both remakes of old games, plus you get new ones in development at the same time, you know, because I guarantee you that, like, the next big 3D Zelda is in development. I'm pretty sure they confirmed that was in development, like, since Tears of the Kingdom finished. So, like, we're going to get Ocarina of Time remake, and then we're going to get the movie right after that, and then the next 3D Zelda will be, like, a year and a half later. Maybe 2 years. I don't know. Who knows, to be honest. That might be a couple years out from, like, Ocarina of Time or the movie. That might be, like, a 2029 kind of thing. I don't know. Who knows? We don't. Nintendo knows, but we don't. And that's what's cool about it. You just go. It's like filler. Like your stomach's empty, and then a remake like kind of fills you up like somewhat, and then you get the Thanksgiving feast with like a new one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This topic has kind of gone back and forth, but I wanted to talk about it because there's so many remakes nowadays and so many remasters and ports and all these things nowadays, and people think that companies and studios are just running out of ideas, and I don't think that's really necessarily the case. As we've seen this E3 season, this was the best E3 season that we have seen in years, and I think going forward we are in for some good things. Nintendo with the Switch 2, I think there's going to be some awesome stuff the next few years. Like, it's going to be amazing. I think that Xbox with new people in charge, I think we're going to see some really big changes the next couple of years that could be for the better. We don't know for sure yet. Again, I don't know. We don't know. We don't have a clue. But I think there's a chance that it could be for the better. Let's give them a chance. As for Sony, you know, they're knocking out less games than they used to, but with Xbox wanting to compete again with them, I think the future could be bright, with console wars truly being a thing again, which means more competition, which means better games. And that's what we all want. We all just want better video games to enjoy. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment down below. What's your favorite, like, remake, remaster? What game do you want a remake for, actually? Like, what's the game that you're like, I really would love to see this get a remake from the ground up? So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Later.